Namaskar. In last lecture, I tried to explain you about the research. What is research? I told you that research is a natural instinct. Natural instinct means the person wants to know what is research. Means a instinct of the person that how something is going on. What is the reason behind happening of anything? What is the reason behind happening of anything? Or what is the reason? कः कंटकानां प्रकृति तैक्षणं चित्रं विचित्रं ऋग्पक्षिणानां माधुर्यमीक्षं कटुकौमरीचे. Means, what is the basic reason behind that? In Ayurveda, you may appreciate the approach. महर्षयस्ते ददृशो यथावत् ज्ञान चक्षुषा सामान्यं च विशेषं च गुणानि द्रव्याणि कर्म च. And I try to provide you a derivation of the research thoughts of the human being, that initially that he started observing something, and this phenomena or art of observation was named as darshan. Drishyate aneniti darshana. Means the science of observation, the art of observation, the methodology of observation, and that is the observational science, that is the darshan. I tried to explain you that दृश्य धातु दृश्यते अनेनिति, दृश्य क्रियार्थक दर्शन है. And in English it was explained as see. Let me see, let me know, let me acknowledge, let me observe, let me perceive. And I tried to provide you some definitions. And the main definition was, that is the natural instinct. Means it is a quest of knowledge. So the WHO has defined the research as, research is a quest of knowledge through diligent search or investigation or experimentation aimed at discovery or interrelationship of new knowledge. It is a quest of knowledge. First, it is a quest of knowledge. Quest of knowledge means there must be some desire, some instinct, some anxiety, some demand about new knowledge. And that should be procedured. And what procedure should be? By a diligent search. What I saw and I am saying this is research? No. That is observation. But when this observation is well proved, this is the research. So through the diligent search, investigation, you are seeing, observing many things, and between that you observe one thing that is a marvelous, or that is unique, or that is de novo. That is also a investigational research. Suppose you are observing on the fishes, but you observe a fish having a specific quality, that is also an investigation. Suppose you observe a coelacanth fish, that is unique, that is the instinct variety, and in that huge amount of the fishes, if you observe that, that is the investigation or experimentation. Investigation, one thing again. In our philosophy, it is said that all the knowledge is existing as the law of conservation of the mass, law of conservation of energy, rightly the law of conservation of the knowledge. Knowledge is conserved. Only we have to observe. Ayurveda, origin of Ayurveda, Brahma Smrita Jnanam. That is Smrit Jnana. Smrit means that was Vismrit, and again it was investigated. Means the knowledge was there, but again it was investigated because we were unaware of that knowledge, and that investigated knowledge is again a research that was revealed in the pure mind of the Brahma, and that's why it is called the Brahma Smrita Vedam. That knowledge was revealed in pure mind, means that knowledge was existing, and again it is said, Rishiyah mantra drashtara. Mantra drashtara means They are observer of the rules of the universe. Means we are not the creator of the rules of the universe. The rules are existing, rules are going on, the phenomena is there, but we are observing them. Suppose I observe the property. I observe the atomic structure. I did not observe the structure of the atom. Structure was there, but only observation was with me. Dalton observed in his own way, Borbori observed in his another way, and likewise many observations has been there, and they all has been a research. But that is ultimate, still we cannot say. But since that was there and they observed in their way, that is the research. So investigation is also a procedure of research. That was there and that was investigated. The properties of waves, properties of the sound, that has not been created, but that properties has been observed, and that's why a clear-cut, a cheerful, a diligent investigation amongst the scattered knowledge is also a process, also a research process. Professor R.S. Singh used to say, nowadays knowledge or informations are overwhelming. Informations are overwhelming. We have to choose the correct information. You are seeing the messages on WhatsApp, you are seeing the messages on Facebook, you are seeing the messages on television, etc. But the real knowledge is very little. And Professor V.K. Dwivedi used to say, there are the various knowledge, there are the huge amount of the knowledge going on, but the actual knowledge is not being observed by anyone. And that has to be observed by a mind of the purity and concentration. And without that, you cannot observe that. And that's why Swami Algaranand also said, there is certain condition when you can observe the conditions of the Gita. You are reading the Gita, you are writing the Gita, but you are not observing the Gita. And when you go in that status, by that lyrics or the rhythms or poems or the sloka of Gita, you will observe the conditions of the Gita. And that is the investigation. We used to investigate the things from scattered knowledge, and that's why it is called the investigation, shodh. And experimentation. Experimentation means, I don't know, but due to some experimental study, I try to conclude something, or a result has been concluded by that particular experimentation, because there is a certain relationship between the Karya and Karana. If by this experimentation this happens, suppose I try to make a experimentation and I am ligating the various ducts of the endocrinal glands, and just after ligating the pancreatic duct or certain duct, and we observe that the glucose level is very high. So we can create a relationship that there is certain something in the pancreas or organs in between it that controls the mechanism of the sugar. And that is experimental knowledge. So it is called by the diligent search, investigation or experimentation. But what should be there? That is aim to discovery. Means all this search must be aimed to get a de novo knowledge. Knowledge is existing, but there must be something de novo drawn, and interrelationship of the new knowledge. That there may be some old knowledge, and with that we observe another new knowledge. Suppose black and white photography was there, and it was in our mind that this photograph should be natural, as the natural colors of the photogenic thing. So we try to observe a technology that could create colorful photograph. And there was old knowledge of the photography. And with the experimentation with that old knowledge, we observed another technology. We investigated another technology that we can create a colorful photograph. We can create a wave and we can mount another wave onto it, and we can modulate these waves and we can filter those waves and we can transmit those waves. And by that we can transmit our voice or our picture. Means something was there, but an instinct with the old knowledge to newer knowledge, we try to explain something. So interrelationship between the old and new knowledge. Again, it is said that search of original knowledge. And that it is said search of organized knowledge. Yes, exactly. Organized knowledge means knowledge was there that was scattered. Suppose the persons were there. They are having the anemia. I observed them. I observed them as they are taking less iron, or they are working in a Silicon Valley and they are getting the respiratory problems. By our observation, we created a relationship that working into the silicon industries, sand industries, roadie machines, there is definite relationship of the silicosis of the lung. Means to say, it is an organized observation. And that's why Professor Dwivedi used to say there is only two types of research. One is the spontaneous research. And spontaneous research is a actual research, like the Faraday's study of the electricity, or the Kekule's dream of the benzene structure, or other things. That happens without any proposed or without any organized study. Organized study was there, but the thing happened suddenly, and that is a actual de novo research. And other all research can be classified into a organized study, because we are creating something with a organized procedure, with a organized experimentation, and with a organized conclusion and discussion. So all other are the organized study. The research is the scientific and systemic search of the pertinent information on a specific topic. This is also said. According to Clifford Oddy, these fellows tries to define the research, but they tried to provide the many words. And when you define anything, you must be aware that if you are defining any group, always this should be kept in your mind, that any idea, if you are trying to define, the characteristic must be pertained within the limit. And what is the limit? That must not go out of the domain. That must define total domain, and there must not be any characteristic that is impossible. I will like to ask you that what is said these all three characteristics in Ayurveda. Can you tell me? The characteristics are going out of the, suppose I am saying this is the guy, and I am saying the characteristic of cow is, the cow is black. So other cows will not be there. One characteristic. Second, I am saying keeping the horn is the characteristic of cow. Then other animals having the horn, they will also be included in that group. And third, if I say there must not be a tail in cow, then it is also a impossible characteristics. And that's why all these three must be avoided when you are going to define. And that's why I am saying the definition of the Clifford Oddy, but this definition is, in my opinion, it is too long, and only that is a definition for the reference. That is, research comprised defining and redefining the problems, formulating hypotheses, or suggest solutions, collections, organizing and evaluating data, making deduction and reaching conclusion, and at last carefully testing the conclusion to determine where they fit for formulating hypothesis. All right, I agree with this, but actually this is not the definition of the research, but this is the definition of a research process. So it is my opinion. A very short definition is there. Research is an original contribution to existing knowledge. Means research is original contribution to the existing stock of knowledge, making for its advancement. Means existing knowledge was there and something new I am going to contribute, and that is the definition. Research may also be defined as the scientific knowledge undertaking which by means of logical and systematized methods aim to discover new facts or re-establish and verify old facts and to analyze their sequence, interrelationship, causal explanation and natural terms which governs them. I again in opinion that these are the definitions of the research methodology. Next, types of the research. Yes, certainly according to its nature or its procedure, research are having the different types. The basic types are pure or basic research. Second is the applied or descriptive research. What is pure research? It is a scientific research aimed to improve understanding or prediction of the natural or other phenomena. Basic research advances fundamental knowledge about the world. It generates a new idea, principles, theories, which becomes basis of the applied research. Again, you can say the pure or basic research is explanatory in nature and it is conducted without any practical end use in mind. Yes, exactly. The basic research is conducted without a experimentation. This is the ultimate reality, that when you are going for a basic research, these are the without any experimentation. But that this definition is now proved wrong. What I want to say here, this definition is proved wrong. And there was a big debate few 10 or 15 years ago in England or America that the fundamental research are decreasing and the experimental researches are you can say the applied researches are being done. Suppose we are going to investigate a medicine for any disease, this experimental study is related with the money, and there are the many things and many companies are there which will be involved in that particular type of research. But when you are going to see the property or when we are going the mechanism of any drug for its action or any other mechanism related, and that is not going to yield something for the society or that is not so sellable, then this research needs less attraction. No one wants to go in the fundamental science, but the applied science like the engineering and medical science, everyone wants to go. That is true. Even Chanakya said, Artha Karicha Vidya. Means that discipline or that knowledge is better, which may provide the money also. That is providing the knowledge, good. That is providing a characteristic, that is good. But that must provide some money also. Artha Karicha Vidya. So we cannot say, cannot say that this is wrong, but it is a general tendency that the fundamental research or the non-experimental researches are just, they are decreasing. Professor R.S. Singh used to say the pharmaceutics of the Ayurveda is increasing. Everyone, even the modern medical companies, are involved in it. But the fundamental research or the research in science of the Ayurveda, what is ras, what is gun, what is vir, what is vipak, how we can observe that this is unknown drug, but we can say this is ras, gun, vir, vipak of this thing. Is there any parameter? Still, we can say this compound is there, this alkali is there, this flavonoid is there, this resin is there, this oleoresin is there, this strand is there. Means all the plant content we can. And we can see the experimental study that Withenia somnifera, the Witheniin does this thing, the somniferin does this thing. But according to the Ayurvedic parameter, we are not going to avail any fundamental research on that. So pharmaceutics of the Ayurveda is increasing, but the science of the Ayurveda is decreasing. So the fundamental research is a basic research. And what I tried to say you that the fundamental research doesn't mean it is research without the experimentation. Though this definition goes on, but I'm going to say about the debate in 15 or 20 years back. Fundamental science research. Most of the researches are going on in the applied sciences, like the engineering, like the medical. But the fundamental researches in biology or other sciences, they are decreasing. Even the researches which are being in biochemistry or molecular chemistry or molecular biology, they are also intended to be clinical, or also intended to be money yielding. The fundamental researches are decreasing. So fundamental research doesn't mean it is without the experimentation, but it is the research with, it may be the research with experimentation, but without its applicability. That may be also called as fundamental research. Suppose I am going to observe the properties of an atom, that is a fundamental research. But when I am going to observe a methodology to create an atom bomb, that is applied research. So fundamental research may also be experimental, but the basic aim, suppose I am going to know the properties, that how we can observe the ras or gun or vipak of a particular plant, and we are doing certain experimentations, that is also a fundamental research. But when we are going to use that experimental result for the clinical purposes, that is the experimental researches. But still the fundamental researches, they are saying that the fundamental researches are confined with the literary research or without experimental research, and that is confined. Though they are saying good, but I am totally not agree with that. Fundamental research with any research done for the fundamental purposes. Any research done for the basic knowledge is the basic research. And applied means any research that is experimental, or that is, if I am going to see any medicine that is being used in our text for such type of disease like the corona or other thing, and I found any medicine and any event or any happening or any mahamari, and there was the use of such type of medicine, and I observed it, our books, that is type of fundamental research, that is basic research, but that is applied because the clinical application is related with that. So I am of the opinion that fundamental research means the research done for the fundamental purposes, and applied research means the research done for the applied purposes. When I am going to do the research, how a color photo films can be developed, it is fundamental research. And when this photo film can be developed and how it can be sold, then it is applied research. The same thing, the properties of atom is a fundamental research, properties of wave is a fundamental research, but the creation of a laser beam is a applied research. So descriptive of applied research. The descriptive research may be the pure or basic also, but the experimental researches may be the fundamental or pure also, but the applied researches are only the researches which are done for the application purposes. And I am agree with the definition of classification of Professor B.K. Dwivedi that one research, that is the spontaneous research, and second is the organized study. And what we are doing nowadays, all the RCTs, random trials, what are they are being, they all are the organized studies. So this is my opinion about the fundamental, pure or basic or experimental researches. And since the books only describe the descriptive research, means the research done by the books without experimentation, and experimental research means the researches where the experimentation is there. But like the Nyaya, what I told in Nyaya, that the person try to stick with some definitions and they create whole the things wrong. So the pure or basic research is a research done for the basic purposes, and a applied research is the research done for the applicable purposes. Okay, thank you. In next lecture I will extend these lines, the types of the research and the good and bad research. Thank you very much.